Does anybody else have Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman singing Fast Car stuck in their head, or just the lesbians in the building? That should have been a dead giveaway for me when I was a kid. I love Tracy Chapman. Welcome to episode 7 of The Girls Room. This is really exciting for me, guys. I have been consistent as fuck every single week, showing up for myself and making something happen that makes me really happy, regardless of my audience size and regardless of all of the fear and all of the things that could have stopped me, like not having an episode planned out, but just winging it. These things happen. And yeah, so welcome for those that are still here, and for those that are just joining, I appreciate you so much. So how is everyone's week going? Because my week is a little hectic. So I film on Wednesday, so I'm like on hump day. And so when you see me on Sunday. So I kind of talk about like the week prior. And I kind of mold it from like Wednesday to Wednesday, because you know, that's a full week. So my girlfriend's birthday is this week. It is on Friday. Yes. I didn't know if it was Thursday or Friday. Relax. I know it's the 9th. It's on Friday, and we are doing a cute little getaway trip to the Catskills with the dogs. We got a little Airbnb, and I am doing like a really cute dinner for her. The kitchen there is pretty small, so I'm gonna prep everything here and bring it with me. I even like printed out menus. I can show you guys. I like laminated them and everything. So it's really cute. I'm keeping it simple just because, like I said, the kitchen there, it's not a tiny home, but it's small. Like the fridge is one of those really small fridges, and I don't want to spend all my time cooking. So I wanted to make something easy, and baked ziti's like her favorite thing. So I'm gonna make her some baked ziti and prep it here. That way we can just throw it in the oven, and I don't have to spend, you know, all my time cooking. Well, not all my time, but like an hour cooking or whatever. That way we can spend some good quality time together. And I'm really excited to get the dogs out there, especially my big dog, my pit, Luna. She just loves being outside. She's quite literally the only reason on earth I would want a yard or a house, because I just never cared about having a yard or a house. Maybe because I'm a city kid. It's the only reason is so that I could watch her run like a clunky gazelle through the fucking grass, because right now we're just like in the concrete jungle, and my girl needs some fresh air. So, and Rue, my little Frenchie, she honestly just likes to sit outside and be a meatball, and it's good for her too, but she doesn't do too much like running and all of that, you know. She's like a cat, really. So that's gonna be exciting. The menus are cute. I titled the name of, if it was a restaurant, Casa Amor, because we like Love Island, and I thought that would be funny because it is a house of love. So we're keeping it super simple. We both decided that we don't really want to drink, and we really haven't been drinking like at all, which I am completely fine with, but that's because I go from like 0 to 100. Like, my dad has told me before that this is like something an alcoholic would say, but I just don't see the point in having a drink. Like, very rarely do I like want to have a drink. If I'm drinking, I want to be like partying out, just like, you know, partying. So maybe that's my own red flag, but yeah, I'm an all or nothing type of girl. So I live my life in extremes most of the time, like high and then low, which, you know, shit happens. We can't be perfect. But yeah, so we're not really drinking. So I didn't even bother. I'm just like getting some nice sparkling water and putting it in a cute glass and making not even a mocktail because they're just filled with sugar. So some lemon maybe, and maybe a flavored La Croix or something. Because yeah, I could get a bottle of wine, but I like asked, do you even want wine? And we're both kind of just like, not really. So what's the point? So we're just gonna have a nice, actual, rested, relaxing trip together. And I'm excited. The place is really cute. It's an A-frame house, which I love A-frames. I think they're the coolest like shaped homes. It's got a great yard and a fireplace that we probably won't know how to use. And yeah, so that's exciting. That's what I have on the agenda. We leave tomorrow and we come home on Saturday. So it's a nice, quick little getaway and I'm really excited. We did a dinner with our friends on Friday for her birthday and that was fun too. So yeah, it's so hard to get together with like friends as you get older. Everybody is so busy and just has so many things going on. And so when you do get together with them, it's always like really nice and it's almost like a treat to catch up. My girlfriend's friend, well, they're my friends too, but they live out on Long Island, so we don't get to see them as often. And I don't even see my friends that live, in the Bronx as much as I would like to, or in Westchester. It's just so hard. Everybody just has so many moving parts in their lives. So yeah, I think prioritizing that though is good, and getting together even once a month, it's just something everybody should do or try to do, because I'm so burpy all the time because life just flies by and it's so fun to hang out with your friends. I used to be so fun and now I'm like not fun anymore, I feel like. But yeah, former party girl, big time, former social butterfly, always out and about, 100 friends, knew everybody like on the face of the earth. And that was always me. I just was out at least like 5 nights a week and going nuts every single night that I was out. I'm truly astonished at how I even did that, because the thought of it now is like so exhausting. I actually cannot even fathom it. And if I do, it's like very sparingly, not even once a month at this point. It's like a couple times a year, because the recovery is fucking brutal. Like, as soon as I turned 25, hangovers became a thing for me. I never had them. Now at 33, I'm out of commission for like a week. I'm not even kidding. I don't feel right. Like, I don't feel normal for an extended period of time. And I just don't want to feel that way anymore. Like, I have shit to do. I have 2 dogs who judge the shit out of us anytime we come home drunk. They literally give us the stink eye. I'm not even kidding. They're like, ew, you're fucking dirty, stay out. They're not wrong. So I live to make my dogs happy and not embarrass and shame them as my children. So former party girl is checked out. But speaking of friends, I feel like as you get older and into like your 30s, if you're not there yet, I think you start seeing it in your late 20s. The evolution of friendships is really, really incredible and can be incredibly heartbreaking. I have had my heart broken over the last 3 years. So many times through friendships that no longer exist. And I feel like this topic is so relevant for many of us. I think I've seen so many people talk about this on social media and the growing pains of getting older and mourning people that are still here. Friendship breakups are truly worse than, I think, a heartbreak from, a romantic relationship. My girlfriend says that's because I've never broken up with a girl before, and that is like worse than a friendship breakup, but I can't relate because I've only had one girlfriend and I don't think we're breaking up. So I don't want to know what that would be. But I can imagine just with two women that it's horrible, because me losing female friends or choosing to end these friendships was so devastating to me, and really hard to get over. But I think as you get older, you need to start recognizing the signs that maybe you are growing apart in a different way, and maybe things just aren't what they used to be, and that person is moving on in their life in a different way than you. Like, I have some friends that if I saw them, it would be like we never skipped a beat. Like, it would be like everything was just the way it always was. We just don't talk all the time. And those are the friends that will always be your friends, that you don't need to catch up with all the time, that you don't need to like keep tabs on each other. You just see each other and like everything is there. And I have like friends like that, like my childhood best friend from like 4th grade. Like, hi Ashley, if you're watching. Like, if I see her, it's like we didn't skip a beat. She's like got beautiful children now. She's married. Just like we just are leading very different lives, and life kind of took us in different directions. But like, we love each other to death, and we always will. So there's those friendships. Then there's like the friends that never grow up. The ones that are like still doing all of the toxic shit that you used to think was fun, and now you're like older, and it's just draining and exhausting to be around that kind of energy, like around people that are just always in drama, always creating drama, because that's the way that they operate. They have to be in some sort of drama. You have that friend that might thrive in that chaos, but maybe you don't relate to that anymore, and you're trying to like grow past it, and you don't want to be talking shit every single day, or keeping tabs, or like running a fake Instagram account, because many of you have fake Instagram accounts. And I just feel like that energy really is, it's some of the most draining energy I think that I've ever personally been around, is just someone that's just always in something. So those type of friendships can be so toxic because they don't let go. And usually that person you have like, I find that the person that's that way, you usually have like a bond with that's like hard to break, because there is something about them that is like, it's like fun energy at the same time as being chaotic. And it's like, it's weird. It's hard to explain. And I've been there too. And that's another type of friendship that, you know, you want to either distance yourself from, or, you know, if they're not trying to make any changes in their lives, or completely cut ties, or if they're just, you know, they're not getting it, that you're not in that place anymore and they can't respect your boundaries, you have to reassess it. You know, there's also the friends that like don't get it, that always want some sort of excuse and reason from you for why you can't hang out, or why you can't do this, or like very pushy in the way that they approach you, or approach, you know, when they want something or want you to be a part of something. And it's like, you should just be able to say like, I don't want to, like, I'm tired, I'm done for the week, I don't want to go out. And, or like, they're constantly like maybe living in a place that doesn't exist anymore. Like if you say you don't want to drink anymore, and then that friend just like doesn't get it. These are all like the different types of people I've encountered that I can speak on. And I'm sure you guys have your own stories. But it's really hard breaking out of those friendships. And then there's also the friends that, you know, you fundamentally are just so different. Like, at your core, you've become such different people, and you're trying to keep this friendship alive that isn't. And like, that's really hard to navigate too, because it's like, I love when people are like, oh, just like tell them, you know, I can't fuck with you anymore, I'm done. Like, what planet? I'm sure there's people that do it, but like, you gotta be a different breed to be able to just be like, I'm done with you at the drop of a hat. Like, there are people like that. I'm not one of them. So sometimes friendships like that require like something to happen for the friendship to actually break up. And that's what I noticed in my journey through all of this, is that something had to happen in all of these friendships for them to end. And that's hard too, because like I'm not an argumentative person. Like, I don't like getting into arguments. I don't fight with my friends. So like that alone, if I'm getting into some stuff, people have like disagreements, of course, but like I don't fight with my friends. I don't. Why am I gonna fight with my friends? Like, unless there's some like major reason, but I just can't think of any reason that's like logical to fight with your friend, unless like they really did something to you, which is like, are they your friend? Kind of. That's how I view it. Like, I've had disagreements with my friends for sure, but for the most part, everybody takes accountability for like their part in whatever the disagreement is. Because I'm not saying that you're never going to have a disagreement with your friends, but if you're constantly like because I know people that go at each other, and that is like criminal to me. Like, I could fight with like the rest of the world, but I'm not trying to fight with my people like at that level. So if you have a friend in your life where you guys are just cutthroat every time you get into an argument, where it's like really going for the jugular, where the respect completely goes out the fucking window, not only to your face, but more importantly, behind your back, and they will tell the first fucking ear that is open to them all of, what is on my hand? That's mascara, I think. Sorry. And they will tell all of your business to the first person that is willing to listen, like every time you fight, because I know people like that I have not had in my life to that degree. Like, yes, I've had people talk about me, but like the friends that fight to the death, like they're fucking coming for each other, that energy is so whack. It's bizarre to me. You feel that way about that person all the time. You're just waiting to let that shit out. That's how I view it. Like, you have an arsenal waiting for this to happen. And I've spoken to people where they've told me that they have these type of friendships where things get so out of hand and they fight over everything, and there's just no boundaries, no respect, none of it. And I just am like, what is the point of that? That sounds like the most draining shit ever. Yeah, when you're like 15, 16, maybe, you know, that's one thing. I'm 33. Like, you're not coming for my fucking jugular. And if you are, I'm probably punching you in the face, if I'm being honest. Violence isn't the answer, but sometimes you got to get punched in the face, because that's just bizarre to me, people that argue within their inner circle like that. And I don't have that. I've never had that. But I feel like it's so common. Like, even just TikTok feuds that you see and the way people like go for each other, I just can't wrap my head around it. I don't get it. That hater energy, and you know when your friend has that hater energy, but especially if they are just fucking telling you every time you're in an argument that they fucking hate you, you should maybe listen to them. And that's when you're like, we're done here. You don't respect me, my boundaries, or anything. You need to like recognize, as you get older, be super intentional about your time, your energy, what you're consuming, and what just everything that you're doing. Be so intentional about it, because I know people say life's short and all of these things, but it really is. And when you look back, you're just wondering why you wasted so much time, or you didn't have the courage to stand up for yourself, or whatever the case might be. But you need to evaluate. And these types of people have a lot of work to do on themselves. And, you know, my dad always says, what does he say? Oh, he says, as a rule, people don't change. There are exceptions to the rule, but as a rule, people don't change. And that is so true because it takes a tremendous, tremendous amount of work to really change your habits, especially when you have atomic bomb habits like that. When you are just always in chaos, it is just easier to stay that way than to look within and figure out what childhood trauma fucking caused it, because all of us have it. We all got it. And figure out why you're behaving the way that you behave and all of those things, because it's just like really exhausting to live in these circles. But if you live in these circles of hell, you kind of just stay there because people don't want to do the work and they don't want to like look within. And I love that mental health is such like, I don't want to say a trending topic, but it's at the forefront of a lot right now. And it's so important. I mean, we didn't take a lot of this stuff serious, and it's like so many things are brushed under the rug, and you know, or they're stigmatized, and there's like a bad stigma. Like, it's bizarre to me that there's a stigma around like therapy, like, or around doing anything that like makes you better. It's like if you're not drinking and someone's like, well, why are you not drinking? Why can't you have a drink? Are you an alcoholic now? Are you going to be sober forever? It's like, hold the fucking phone. Like, can I just like not want to drink? It's not like I'm saying that I want to do meth. Like, I'm saying that I don't want to put something in my body that doesn't make me feel good. And you are attacking me for that. So those type of friends are annoying too. But yeah, I feel like it's super important to just start to evaluate where you're spending your time as you get older and really pour into yourself, because as corny as it sounds, you can't love anybody until you love yourself. And that includes friends, that includes lovers, partners, whatever, all of the things. Like, you have to really be good with you and who you are, truly good with who you are, to do for others and to be there for others. And you know, that takes work, and it's not work that ends. It's work that continues. The goalpost keeps moving. And if you're someone that's like always taking action to grow and change in some direction, and this does not have to be big steps. This is why I think it becomes overwhelming for people, is that they think it needs to be like some big change. No, it's all in the little steps that you take every single day. Those little changes make big changes. Big changes will not stick without those little changes along the way. That's how you get to the big change. So part of those changes is evaluating who's around you and taking account of who's there, and also holding yourself accountable for your behaviors in these relationships and how you can change, because it takes, you know, more than one person for these dynamics to go, whether you're an enabler, whether you're the, you know, aggressor, whatever, I don't know the right word, whether you're the one that's like causing the issues. You need to like stop projecting onto the world your bullshit, because really everything is just like a projection in this life. Everybody is projecting onto everybody else. That's why perspectives are so different. Like, I could have a perspective on something and how something happened, and you could tell me it was like a completely different way, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, do we ever know the truth of whatever actually happened in this world? Because all of it is from someone's perspective. So making sure you have a well-rounded perspective and like being able to like see all sides of a situation, and quite frankly, getting your head out of your ass, is the best way, I think, to grow as a person. And you know, I think I'm this way to a fault almost sometimes, because I really can usually see all sides of a situation. And it makes me play like devil's advocate sometimes, but things really aren't so cut and dry. And, you know when something's not good for you and when something's not working for you. You know when your friend is a hater. I love the hater friends. The people that watch every fucking thing you do. They are the first fucking one to watch everything that you do. They never engage. They never like. They never comment. They never have anything to say because they are just keeping tabs on you. And you know who those friends are. We all know who those people are in general. Like I've said in the past, lucky for me, my friends are the shit. They support me. Yeah, I have like, a few. I've cut down the list. Like I said, I used to have like hundreds of friends, but I've cut the list down. And my people are there for me. They show up for me. They support me in the things that I do. But then there's like the little rats that run around and they just watch and lurk and they don't actually ever have anything to say because they're just keeping tabs on you. And those people are not in my life, but if those people are in your life, that's weird. Or like the friend that like acts like they don't know what's going on with you. Like they act like they don't know, like you were just in Italy or something. Like you just got back from Italy and they're like, oh, what you been up to lately? And you're like, I was just in Italy for a month. And then they're like, you were? Meanwhile, they were the first one on every story. Please. Please, it's embarrassing. I can't. Get these friends out of your life. They're not your friends. They're haters. Or they're like in a place in their life where they cannot be happy for you and the things that you're doing. And there's room for some people for you to like talk to them. Like sometimes people are just not in a good place. And sometimes they need your love and they need you to talk to them and they need you to, be like, hey, what's going on? And you need to be present for them too. But if it's someone that's just like always this way and just never involved, never asks you how you're doing, never cares about anything that's happening to you, all of these things, like, it's probably not a good vibe. Let me tell you something. My mom has known every single friend that wasn't my friend. Every single one since I was like 8 years old. She would be like, I don't like that girl. The girl would be 8 years old and I'd be like, wow, you have beef with an 8-year-old? She wasn't wrong. High school, my mom told me, that girl's not your friend. She's very jealous of you. I was like, why would she be jealous of me? And then she was like, what do you mean? Why would she be jealous of you? She's jealous of you. And we're all like insecure, especially like in high school. I'm like, jealous of what? Like I'm ugly and I'm fat and I'm this and I'm that. Meanwhile, I was like 120 pounds and I was really cute and I had the best head of hair on earth. And she'd be like, oh, that girl's jealous of you. And I'm like, I just didn't get that. Like, how could you be jealous of me? I was so like thrown by that. She didn't like her. She would tell me all the time she didn't like her. She's my best friend. She's my best friend. Boom. Drove 5 hours. This girl drove 5 hours to meet my boyfriend at the time in a parking lot to have sex with him in a parking lot. Just because he's my boyfriend. I'm not making this shit up. I am not making this shit up. That story is fucking insane. And that was the lengths that she decided to go to have what I had. And it's just bizarre. And honestly, I don't feel any hate or anything towards her at this point in time. I actually wasn't even that mad then because I was mad at him, but her and I were like, the friendship kind of like fizzled. And then like, I kind of was just like, you fucking would. That's like big weirdo vibe behavior. That's like the extreme of the friend that like wants to just fuck you over. Really something it's really weird to say it out loud. I haven't talked about that story in a really long time. And then I had another friend who, I was dating this guy. He was a piece of shit. And I would cry like every day because he was always like cheating on me. And she would always be telling me like, you're too good for him. You shouldn't be like crying. And then like I had this crazy intuition. My intuition is fucking insane. It's insane and unmatched. And I had this crazy gut feeling that something was going on and I I'm like, I think this girl is fucking him. I think she is. And I couldn't, prove it. And I didn't want to just be like accusing her and be like, well, my gut told me that you're having sex with my boyfriend. I couldn't do that. And he was like totally for the streets, like fully, like anybody could have him. Nothing special there. And she would get drunk, and every time she got drunk, she would cry and like try to, like, she would just cry and be like, I'm not a good friend. So one day she did that shit, and I like closed the door of my room, and I'm like, why aren't you a good friend? Like, I was trying to like get her to say it because I knew she wouldn't fucking budge. And then lo and behold, I found out, I don't know why, I cannot remember how I found out. I don't remember if he like actually told me, but whatever. Found out that they were sleeping together for months behind my back. And she was lying to my face every single day and telling me to break up with him. And everybody knew. All of the people that I was around at that time knew what was going on. Oh, I think one of them told me. One of them was like, I have to tell you because you should know. Not because they felt bad, but because they were being messy. Because I was young. No hard feelings. I hope everybody is happy with their lives at my expense. No, I'm just kidding. I hope everybody is happy with their lives that were, involved in the things that they did to harm me. But we were all young, and it is what it is. I truly don't feel anything about it. But like, it's just examples of like, you really be having like snakes around you, and you know it, but you don't want to hear it. So if you're ever like not sure about your friend, just take them to meet my mom. She will get them together immediately, I promise. I talked to my little sister about this stuff. My little sister's 18, and she's so bomb. She's so cute, beautiful, so smart, all of the things that I hope she knows she is. And yeah, sometimes she'll text me and ask me stuff about her friends, and I try to talk to her about it and give her the best advice that I can. I love being her big sister, even though she probably like doesn't like value the opinion as much right now, because we never do. These are all like the growing pains you kind of have to go through. Those stories are from when I was like in high school, so I was much younger. Much younger than I am now. But you still, hopefully you're not dealing with shit like that as you get older. Listen, it happens every day. It does happen every day. But hopefully you're not dealing with that as you get older. And you just start to like, you don't have to like have this hatred towards the people that are no longer in your life. You kind of just like wish them well from afar, regardless of how the relationships might have ended. Like the people that I don't speak to anymore, I truly like wish them well. And it was really hard for me to step into this other part of my life. But it's so true. Like the blessings that are coming your way, you have to be prepared for. Mind, body, and soul. Like you have to be prepared for the next chapter of your life, and you have to know when to let things go and when to let people go, situations go, jobs go, partners go, friends go, whatever, all of it. You have to know when that time is, because you need to align yourself with this higher version of you. I'm getting like woo-woo here, but like your higher version of yourself exists on a different plane. Oh God, I sound like I'm a whack job, but I'm not. Like we all have this person we aspire to be, and that person like already exists. It's within you. That's why you even think about that person, because that person is there. But are you ready to be them? I don't know. You have to ask yourself that. And I was asking myself that a lot. Am I prepared for the next part of my life? Am I prepared for like these amazing things to happen? I wasn't in many ways. So stepping into that next chapter, I did away with the things that didn't serve me anymore. And that's not a selfish thing. It sounds selfish, but it's not. Unless you're selfish and you're doing it for selfish reasons. But if you are a person with rationale and logic, and like, this is what's best for me, you have to make that move. You have to be sure you're making that move and taking those steps, because they take time. Like all of these changes take so much time. And then you're like, you feel like, oh, this is going to take forever. But before you know it, the time kind of just flies. And then you are on the way, hopefully doing the things that you needed to be doing. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. I'm in this other phase that I never thought like I would be in, because I was so stuck in like where I was. And it's so hard to see the bigger picture sometimes. But step back, step outside of yourself and think big. Think big picture. Think a bigger scope of what you want your life to be. Don't keep it here. Like sometimes we have such nearsighted like vision. Like you can only see what's right in front of you, what's happening right now. But step back and you'll just like see what you want. And then as you are preparing for that next phase of your life, you'll be like preparing for that phase through your actions, and then you are aligned with those things and taking those aligned actions to get to that goal that you have and to make those changes and get out of these situations that suck and don't do any good for you. So that was kind of on my mind because yeah, I think it's a major thing. And I've spoken to some people that are going through that and trying to navigate the next step of their friendships and moving forward and accepting the changes that come. And also, you know, they say like I forget, if you're with someone for, 20 years, you met 100 different versions of them as they're ever evolving as a person. Hopefully you should be. The quote is like something like that. I'm not getting it right, but the same but the same can be said about your friendships. Your friends, more than anybody, have seen so many versions of you more intimately than probably your partner. I mean, my best friend has seen maybe 1 million different people, and same for her. And like, are you evolving together or are you evolving not together? And for me, I'm very grateful that, I have friendships of 10 plus years where we've evolved together and like are just on the same playing field and understand each other and evolve as people and are becoming better people. And it's so uplifting to talk to like-minded people that are just on the same wavelength, and they've seen all of the versions of you, and they're like, you've seen all the versions of them, and you're both like, I'm just so proud of you and all of the changes that you've made. And those friendships are so special. Hold on to them so tight. Put your effort in. I can definitely be better at that. I'm a moody bitch. But my friends know that I love them more than anything, and I will kill a bitch for them. So yeah, if you have any questions about navigating through any part of your life, please send it to me at tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you and have this be interactive and have a segment out of it, no matter what that is, whether it's, life advice, relationship advice, a funny story, a funny question, a question for me, anything. Just come join me in the girls' room. I just got a new Nespresso, and I am so proud of the lattes I've been making the last 2 days. This is my second one of the day, so good luck to my girlfriend when she gets home, because I'm going to be off the fucking Richter scale. So talking about friends and relationships changing, let's talk Vanderpump, because I just watched episode 2 last night, which is why this is like the perfect day for my podcast to film on Wednesdays, because I can be like caught up on like at least Vanderpump. Honestly, it's the most important show in my sphere right now when it comes to like Bravo. So I keep seeing, if you haven't watched, Ariana is still in the house with Tom. She's not leaving, and she's kind of being super bitter, but like, I feel like people are forgetting that this is being filmed, like what's being aired now was filmed 3 months after the affair. So yeah, she's gonna be bitter and she's gonna make his life a living hell, just like he did to her. So people that are saying like, oh, but she's profited and blah, 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 she should get every dollar for that house that she is owed for the sale. Like he wants to buy her out and give her less, I think, than what she would get if they sold it. Why would she do that? No, I agree with her, but I just don't disagree with her. And when she's being petty, I think it's hilarious. So that was good. Lala's been pissing me off because I actually love her, but I think like her bitterness towards like Ariana having this moment because she was cheated on, I feel like it's showing in other ways. And I know we saw like a clip of her saying like, I never met someone who gets cheated on and becomes like God or something like that. And we know she's bitter because she didn't get that type of, you know, spotlight, and neither did Sheena. But like, you guys were like the other woman. You were Raquel, you weren't Ariana. So I'm confused. And yeah, I really like Lala, but I just like not into this. First it was her with this weird mommy complex trying to save Raquel. Like Raquel's fine as she could be. She can figure it out herself. Like let it go. And yeah, like I don't know, just like not being like a girl's girl in that moment. I get she was trying to be like logical and rational, but I don't feel like it was for the reasons that she was like claiming, if that makes sense. I feel like it was more about her just like giving some pushback just to give it. But Katie's like, yes, queen, be bitter and be petty. Let him buy you out for every fucking dollar that you are owed if he's gonna do that. Otherwise, you get out because you're the one who wrecked the house, not me. And I couldn't agree more. Also, speaking of Katie, I'm really excited to see Katie without Tom because we've never seen that. But like, I also am just, I don't know how she did that for so long. I just don't know how she was with him for so long. And Schwartz is cute and all, but like a spineless man is so unattractive. The way he behaves, I need a hug. Like, I'm just not into it. But it's only episode 2. I did appreciate that Schwartz like actually stuck up for himself to the best of his ability with Sandoval. And justice for Anne. I think that's her name, Sandoval's assistant. She better be getting paid triple for dealing with this shit. And if you don't watch, she is the go-between between these exes that live together, but don't speak. So they text through her essentially. And you could tell she just like doesn't want to be dealing with this. And she's like kind of shy, and I just feel really bad for Anne. Poor Anne. Justice for Anne. And dealing with Tom Sandoval just can't be fun. I mean, he seems like he's a nice guy, but his head is so far up his ass. I can't even like imagine dealing with it. So I don't have that many thoughts on it. Still pretty new this season. I do have thoughts on Brock and Sheena. I think Brock is so cute how he just is Sheena's cheerleader. It's really cute. And that's how everyone's partner should be. Like, he's not trying to ever like, or it's seemingly, he doesn't try to like take her spotlight. He's just like, watch my girl shine. She was born for this. And I think that's like really cute. He loves to watch her be herself and like just be in the spotlight and be a star. So yeah, I think those are my thoughts on Vanderpump. Not much has happened as of yet. Next week looks like there was a decent trailer. And Allie and James going, that's something to talk about. James going by Sandoval's and Sandoval trying to bring up how James like fucked Kristen 10 years ago. It's just not the same. I'm gonna have to agree with James on that situation. And I'm glad he walked out, but he didn't have to like pee on the bush. That was Ariana's bush too, like Allie said. Speaking of Allie, she's doing birth chart readings, and I actually looked it up because I was like, I wonder how much she charges. She charges $195 for her birth chart readings, which honestly isn't really a bad price. That's like, I feel like that's what people charge for stuff like that. So I might actually book one with her because I wonder if it's like virtual. So if anybody wants me to do that, maybe I'll do it for the plot. I think that's really it for my Bravo portion of this podcast. So like I said before, guys, please, please, please send me your topics, questions, problems, concerns, all of it, stories you want to tell. Keep it anonymous if you want. Whatever you want, please send it to tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com. I would love to hear from everybody. I'm so excited to be doing this podcast. I really am. And you know, I just like have so many aspirations. I just saw that Alex Cooper interviewed Heidi Klum on Call Her Daddy, and like goals, seriously. Like Tana and Alex Cooper, like the canceled podcast, Call Her Daddy podcast, even like Disrespectfully, it's brand new. That's Katie and Dana's podcast. Like that podcast, I just like, these women are so cool to me. The things that they're doing in this space are really cool, and I aspire to be in the same room as them one day. So putting my manifestations out there, and I'm rebuking your evil eye if you have one on me. But yeah, these women are just doing really cool things, and the podcast space is just fun to me because it's not like a TV show. It's not like a talk show. Like that's like so gross and sterile to me. Like I just wouldn't want to do that. But these like forums where you just have like, you know, they're famous now, but like they were regular people and they're now interviewing these major people, having these amazing experiences without necessarily being like thrust into like the spotlight in like a crazy major way. But it's so cool to see, and it's really, really inspiring to me. Like getting signed to like Unwell, which is Alex Cooper's, I guess, like media company. She has Alex Earl's podcast on there, and she just signed Harry Jowsey. I don't know if I fit the genre for her stuff. They're a little younger than me, and I think like as of now, the podcasts are like, you're unwell. So like they're like maybe a little more chaotic, maybe like about it more in like the party world. I'm not really sure. Maybe she's going to expand. Maybe this is just who she has now. But like, imagine if Alex Cooper asked me to be part of the Unwell Network and I had like a legit podcast in like some sick bathroom. Like I could see my podcast in like the Williamsburg Hotel in like the bathroom at the top with the bathtub that like overlooks. If you've never seen it, it's honestly, it's me and Amanda's favorite place because we used to go there a lot. So it would be sentimental to me, but like having my interviews in their, I don't know if it's their presidential suite, but they have this crazy fucking bathroom. It's gorgeous. People do photo shoots there. There's like a standalone tub with this insane view of New York City. That would be insane if I had my podcast there. So we're manifesting things. I'm just putting it all out there because why not? So anyway, I hope everybody has an amazing week, an amazing weekend, and I will see you next week for episode 8. So we're almost at 10, and hopefully by my 10th episode, I hope to hit some sort of milestone with this, whether that's like 50 YouTube subscribers or something along those lines. That would be like amazing. But until then and forevermore, I'm going to keep showing up every single week in the girls' room and talking to you guys. So I hope you have an amazing week. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next Sunday. Love you. Bye.